Today is Monday, September 15th, 2025. I'd like to call the Finance Administration and Economic Development Committee meeting to order. If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Sarah, this meeting has been posted correctly with FOIA compliance?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Sarah. And if I could ask someone for approval of our agenda today.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is there a second, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we will go ahead and approve that without objection. And seeing no objection, our agenda for today is approved. I would then also like for someone to make a motion to approve our minutes from August 18th, 2025.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham.
Mr. Dawson seconded.
All right, any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we approve those without objection as well. Seeing no objection, those are approved. I'd like to now open it up for our 15 minutes of public comment. Sarah, do we have anybody that's signed up?
No, sir.
We do not have any for public comment. All right, so we're going to close public comment and then move right on to number 7 on our agenda, which are reports. And I'd ask our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Pinky Harriet, to come forward. Ms. Harriet, thank you for being here.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
So before we start the report, I wanted to introduce Courtney Thies as our new budget manager. She joined us on August 4th. She brings over 8 years of specialized experience in government finance with a strong track record of managing complex budgets across K-12 education, local government, and higher education. Most recently, she served as the budget officer at Minnesota State University. Mankato, I was worried about that one. Where she led key financial initiatives and supported long-term strategic planning. Originally from Minnesota, Courtney has relocated with her husband and their 2-year-old daughter and just closed on her house last week. Her deep expertise, leadership, and fresh perspective will make her a valuable asset to our team. So, welcome, Courtney.
Welcome.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thanks. All right. We're going to start with our year-to-date budget presentation. Sorry. So this is preliminary, obviously not audited, but how we closed out the fiscal year end. So we're going to go over same format, general fund revenues.
You have it in front of you.
Oh, sorry. Where am I pointing? All right, there we go. As you can see, we have collected a little bit more than we had budgeted. We're a little over $1 million in, a little over $12 million in overall general fund revenue. So it looks like we're wrapping up some of our collections throughout the fiscal year. All right, general fund expenditures. We're about 5% under budget for the entire year, probably due to various reasons to include vacancy lag. So we only expended 89% in general government and a little over in cultural and recreation, but overall 95% for the general fund. All right, quick overview of our enterprise funds. Solid waste and recycling was at 97%, which is pretty good because they were right on their budget. As you know, we have closed the enterprise fund for solid waste and recycling. Effective fiscal year 26, they will be in a department in the general fund. Stormwater is at about 70% for revenues. A lot of this is some of the parcels that we have waived, for lack of a better term, sorry, for the
military
institutions,
it's the
sorry.
write down
Not
essentially
waived.
for that.
So Beaufort Executive Airport's right at 88%, and then Hilton Head is at 120%. Lots of flights going in and out. Enterprise expenditures, same thing, 99% for solid waste. Stormwater's at 66. Beaufort Executive is at 38. Hilton Head Airport is at 82%. And this is all right at the end of the fiscal year, so we're not done with the audit, but this is in prep for our audit. Any questions about those?
I do have a question back on general fund expenditures.
Sure.
Sorry, I should have cut it back then.
No worries.
So you have public welfare, 119% spend. Did we not budget well enough, or have we?
I'd have to dig into the weeds of exactly what caused it, but I can send it to you.
Because it's only September.
Oh, no, this is last fiscal year. This is ending fiscal year
Okay.
25.
But we went
Yeah.
over 119, so I'm
Right.
guessing we raised their budget maybe.
I believe they did already in 26 to account for it.
Okay.
But I can send you the details on what caused that over expenditure. So the next thing coming is your budget transfer report. And as you can tell, it is extremely, hold on, long. And it is 6 pages long, and we have a lot of transition at the end of the fiscal year. People are moving monies left and right, trying to cover any negative balances in their departmental budget. So there is a lot of transactions here, and we did remove those redundant columns tab that you didn't like over to the right. So now you just have the date of the transfer, the department, the from account, the description of the account, the amount that they moved, and the to account, and then the justification over to the far right. So there are several transactions on here. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, but this is generally normal. The only question I have for Finance Committee is, are you wanting to see every single dollar moved, or do we want to limit this to a certain amount? Because I have $43 transactions on here, and which is why it tends to get a little heavy, so.
We had talked about that in the past, so
Right.
actually, anything over a certain amount is what you'd put on there, but I think at that time where it was so new, because we just started
Right.
this a year ago, basically.
Yeah,
So is everyone happy with the 6-page report, or would you rather see us?
Is there
pick
any
a-
different amount of work between, I mean, you just generate this,
no,
right?
yeah, we would generate the same report, but it's up to you. I just know that it's been extremely long when you get towards the end of the fiscal year, so it's a lot to,
I kind of like the numbers, but.
we can leave it just as
Number
is.
geek, so,
If it's not any more work for you, obviously, it's
that was my
just,
question.
Yeah.
we're.
No, we can continue to generate, I just know it gets a little heavy towards the end of the fiscal year. But we'll leave it as is.
Yep, that'd be good.
All right. Our next report, after all these budget transfers. All right. Here is a quick summary of our ARPA report, sorry. Our total ARPA budget, as you know, was 37 million and some change. Wanted to show you a quick graphic based on, I know that's kind of small, but each category, some of cumulative expenditures, and the remaining balances at the top right. Did a little pie chart also to help kind of make it look a little bit easier. In the middle, you will see we have open projects currently, some of the cumulative expenditures, and then the remaining balance on those open projects. Down at the bottom, the administrative reallocation that was required. We had put a little too much from administration and needed to move it down to some projects per the requirements for ARPA. And we had 62,000 towards revenue replacement and into the remaining mental health services, which has been a big initiative for our county. So we wanted to add that 62,000 there, as well as the affordable housing project that we did in ARPA. We want to add the additional 129,940. The total reallocation required is that 192 at the bottom. So these were the two highlights are the categories that we recommend that we move this administrative over expenditure to, allocation to, sorry. So with that, the second page, there you go, sorry. That's every project that we had ARPA allocated for, total budget for the project, cumulative expenditures, and then the remaining balance over to the right. We have a few open projects right now. We're working on starting our 3 broadband projects, Stony Creek Sewer, which is under construction. We just haven't received any invoices just as of yet. And then premium pay has a balance due to a refund by a detention center employee, and that was the retention bonuses. And then we did, just described to you the administrative reallocation that was required, so. Do you have any questions? I know that was a lot of information.
Any questions? Joe, I see your hand, go ahead.
Yeah, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. In the ARPA funds, I know there was a date certain that the money had to be encumbered. I believe that 26 is the year everything has to be spent?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Everything had to be allocated by December 31st, 2024, which we met, and then everything has to be expended by December 31st, 2026.
Okay. Are we on target to actually accomplish that?
I feel like we are, and I know Hank is managing a lot of the projects, and he feels confident that we are.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, Ms. Harrod, go ahead and continue, or you?
Yes, so just one small update, minor update. Wanted to let you guys know about the interest refund checks. All checks were processed on Friday by finance and mailed out, thanks to the treasurer's team and the auditor's team and the assessor's team. We all worked together to get these out as quickly as possible. Total of 6,099 checks, totaling $1,404,943.19. I'd like to give a great recognition to the treasurer's office. They were very helpful in helping get this process quickly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Especially because it was just dropped, right? It just sort of came up, yeah.
That's a fun weekend project for you.
Thankfully, we already have processes in place.
All right. That is it for the finance report.
All right, thank
If
you.
you have any questions.
Nope. Any questions? Any additional questions?
Sir?
All right, then let's move on then to B under reports. And Mr. Moore, you're going to be handling this. This is discussion of request for proposal for an RFP for countywide printing services.
That's correct. I'll at least get the discussion started. So we added this to the agenda. As you all know, we passed the new procurement code last year, and as part of that, it does allow for elected officials to pursue RFPs and procurements. In this particular case, what's moving forward is the print contract with South Data has expired. There's a RFP that's in work. This, affects several departments, auditor, treasurer, and assessor. And as you will see, as part of the procurement ordinance, it does allow that elected appointed officials, provided that funds have been approved by county council as part of the annual budget appropriation process, and that any expenditure of funds regardless of that amount will not result in a budget deficit within any official's office shall be exempt from the dollar limitations on expenditure authority established in subsection 2-506E of this division, provided the office complies with all the provisions as may be required by South Carolina law and the Beaufort County Purchasing Ordinance. County council may request reports and information as it deems necessary and prudent on the procurement activities of an official to ensure compliance with the Beaufort County Procurement Code. This is a significant RFP. It does affect more than one elected official. You've got the treasurer and the auditor, as well as the assessor is affected by this procurement. So we wanted to bring this forward for a discussion to see if there were any concerns from this committee. So that's pretty much where we are. If there's any questions in terms of this, just wanted to go ahead and have that conversation.
So, being the devil's advocate, why would we be concerned? Kind of.
Well, I think the main concern we have is that this affects more than one department, and we just wanted to make sure, we had the KEMA come through last time, and we just want to make sure that if this procurement goes through, that it at least considers the other departments. In the event that it doesn't, then the other departments may have to consider their own procurement, and then there might be questions about that. So, administration's recommendation is that this RFP would include the three main departments: assessor, auditor, and treasurer.
Okay. Any questions?
I'm getting a vibe that there's more. Getting a vibe that there's some underlying tone here.
Well, I will say that last week the auditor reached out and expressed concerns about what's in the RFP. I don't know that he's here. We did notify them this is going to be on for discussion, so we at least wanted to make sure that that was addressed and considered as
And
part
the
of
other
this.
departments are on board.
The other departments on board, I'll let the assessor speak to that, if that's a
Is Ebony
question.
here?
Ebony is here.
Oh, I can't see. Oh, there she is, over the back. Hello, Ebony.
You've been busy the last couple meetings.
I tell you.
We're enjoying the time at least.
Yes, we are on board with this. Typically, the assessor's office, we print assessment notices once annually, and that's when we have changes in assessments or with regards to changes with new construction or those type of things, or legal residency. Then at the quadrennial reassessment, we typically send out 130, I think the next one like 136 to 138,000 assessment notices. Within the annual mailing for printing services, we do send out postcards to our taxpayers to let them know, to welcome them into Beaufort County. So yes, I'm on board with getting a consolidated effort with the two other elected officials to see if we can bring together under one print vendor.
What about your department, Maria? We might as well if we're here.
Ms. Walls, thank you for being here. Thanks.
Okay, so, no, I'm not. But I've already conveyed this to Mr. Moore on multiple occasions, months ago and as recently as last week. And I will expound on why, because it's a very valid question. So first and foremost, I would ask Mr. Moore how the auditor would have known the contents of the RFP or that it even existed. Because other than the procurement director and these people sitting right here, no one else would have known that we submitted an RFP to the procurement office. So that's an interesting question. But currently, there is no other department that is using the services contained within our RFP than the treasurer's office. Our office is paying for the items out of our budget that are listed in the RFP. But there is a point that Mr. Moore has when it comes to volume. We are the bulk. We are the volume out of the three departments he's mentioned. But I will also mention that the court, clerk of court in particular, also does a large amount of mailing. So there are many departments in the county that do mailing other than our office. What I think is important, and what I did express very clearly last week, I absolutely welcome any department to utilize the contracts negotiated by the treasurer's office because they're extremely favorable. We have a better contract with Wells Fargo than the state treasurer's office, and we have a better contract for my Beaufort County that has been awarded in North Carolina and in a nationwide co-op that our purchasing department has recently researched. There are multiple departments using these services because I specifically require our vendors and ask that not only do they work for our office if we select them and our taxpayers, but that they honor the pricing for any other Beaufort County department wishing to use their services. So like Ms. Sanders said, the reassessment notices makes complete sense that she would want to use a print vendor for that and not do it manually. So we ask our vendor as part of our contractual agreement that they honor the pricing for any other department that wishes to do that, and that they are not allowed to charge an onboarding fee, one-time setup fee, nothing. So there is no other additional fees charged to that department wishing to use those services. This is not just slapping things on a piece of paper and mailing it out. Half of BeaufortCountyTreasurer.com and the entire services our taxpayers use, on average 20,000 to 25,000 hits a week, 25,000 hits a week. Our taxpayers looking up their tax bills, that is driven by the services in this RFP. And it drives many, many other things. I expressed this already to administration. I didn't realize I had to express it to the auditor as well. I'm not accountable to him, and I don't have to explain myself. But I'm happy to explain it to you. So do you have any other questions? Because this is a service used by the treasurer's office, a service paid for through the budget of the treasurer's office, and we would like to pursue an RFP for services for the treasurer's office, and we'd really like to move forward with our job.
It doesn't say just a print, it's not just a print.
Thank you.
It's also print and data, not just a print RFP.
Thank you.
I have a question, Mr. Wilson.
Go ahead.
So the contract that's currently expired,
It's not expired.
well, it's coming up, the one you're trying to, okay.
Yes,
So did your office negotiate that?
yes.
And I guess I'd ask Ms. Sanders if she's had any problem with that current contract? Does it meet your needs? I'm sorry.
We used the current vendor, I'm assuming the treasurer is using Ms. Smith, the South Data. We used them for the reassessment. I will be perfectly honest with you, I would not use them again. We do have another vendor that we do use. The vendor did mailed out our notices earlier than expected, and we weren't ready to, it was just, they didn't follow through. There were some issues with the vendor. So that particular vendor, in the past, we've used them, I would say over 10 years ago, it was not an issue. We were the first office that brought that particular vendor to Beaufort County under my predecessor, Ed Hughes. So, I mean, for what we use, the print vendor that we currently use today, services are needed on an annual basis, but at the quadrennial reassessment, they're not able to handle it. We do get data files from them, so we can upload our information on our system so taxpayers can search as well, and that is in the information that we provided to procurement. So, I mean, we're interested in the fact that if we have to, I would like to partner up with one of the other two departments to help, because we're only the annual or the quadrennial reassessment. Just, you know, hope that answers your question. I kind of
Yeah, it does.
So I guess the question is whether Ms. Walls does her own RFP for your department, the treasurer's department, or
For
whether
the
it's
needs
done
and
as a
services.
countywide for all of them. That's what, again, it's on here as a discussion item for us to discuss that, whether Ms. Walls can go ahead and go on her own to do the RFP, again, it can be used by the rest of the county, or we're looking at doing a countywide. Is that kind of correct, Mr. Moore?
That's correct.
The funding comes from your budget anyways, right?
Yes, these departments are welcome to do an RFP if they do not like the vendor we select.
But if you
But-
do an RFP and you pick a vendor, you're okay with them using your vendor if you have a better contract? than them?
100%, absolutely,
I don't
which
see any
I have
problem with it.
absolutely shown on more than one occasion. We have walked through, 9 departments to use My Beaufort County. You can go there right now and see all the departments that we have assisted. My staff has taken time to onboard them and walk them through. The Beaufort County Auditor, his current website and his use of Zendesk, our team walked him through using his vendor. Our team helped him set up his customer service system.
And I would have asked Mr. Cadd the exact same question I asked Ms. Sanders. You know, what does he print? What service can't he get currently that he would want in the future? Because it seems to me if everyone can use the vendor for reduced volume pricing, I'm going to say, then I don't see any problem with it. It's in her budget, and generally, I don't like to interfere with an elected official.
Is there any reason why she can't have her own vendor, and then everyone else have the other one, or how does that play?
Regardless of which department or elected official does the RFP and enters into this contract, it's a county contract, and any department within the county should be able to access that. And if the treasurer's office is the lead agency, then it should be opened up to the rest of the county departments. And if they want to utilize a different contract than what is entered into with the lead of the treasurer's office, they should have to justify to the purchasing department and then the administrator as to why they're going to deviate from that standard county contract. There's a lot of benefit to economy of scale and a countywide contract to the benefit of all the county taxpayers where you get that economy of scale.
All right, so again, this is up for discussion, we're just discussing this. It sounds like, Tab, that you don't have a problem with Ms. Walls having her own RFP, and that if we needed to get a second.
Mr. Thomas,
Oh,
may I
yes,
have a
oh, I'm
comment?
sorry, I didn't see that. Yes, Mr.
This is nothing against Maria. Maria and her staff do a great job, and y'all put together a really nice RFP for what she's asking for. But to get a little bit of history, the reason why we've done this in the past is one big RFP or one big bid. We actually did an IFB last time, and of course,
Can you explain why we did an IFB?
well, because we knew what we wanted.
No, why did we do an IFB?
Don't put me on the spot right now. Let me finish my
But
comments.
you came up here, why did we do an IFB?
Because we had a need for printing and mailing services.
Because I suggested it, and I got Ed Hughes and Sharon Burris on board, and all three departments agreed at that time, and it made sense.
Okay, good for you. Let me finish,
Remind
please.
everybody that
Anyway,
Comments should be directed.
what we're trying to do is get the best bang for our buck. So in this case, and we can do an RFP, give you, it's not basically based on price, but it's also based on what the vendor is bringing to the table, because what she has to get as far as information is very database, very software-based. So there's not a whole lot of vendors, maybe 3 or 4, that actually can provide the product or services that we're asking for. So my point is, it's better off, since we're going to do this for the whole county, and since it's going to be a county contract, not a treasurer's contract, but it's a contract that the treasurer can use as a whole. Instead of me doing 3 contracts or 3 solicitations, we do 1. Saves a lot of time, and hopefully we'll get better discounts since we're doing it for the treasurer, the auditor, the assessor, and any other departments that need printing services. So we're talking about printing and mailing services and data services. So, subject to your questions, that's what I recommend as your chief procurement officer.
Does every department need different data?
Yes.
Does every different type of company give different type of data?
I would
So is
say so.
is there a one-size shoe that is able to fit all 7 departments?
No.
So then a whole countywide contract would be open up for negotiation anyways. If somebody else needed another service, we'd have to go get another contract anyways. So specifically, if she wanted to go out to bid for an RFP for something that specializes in her department, and if it works for 4 of the 7, I'm just using a number,
Sure.
then great. Then we have to go find something for the other 2 or 3 because.
But you can put it in your solicitation that you want a smorgasbord that provides those services for the treasurer, but it additional provides printing and mailing services. Follow me? So you don't have
Yes,
to
but it
do
can
one
also
for
be
each
a
company.
less qualified service if that person does all 10 things instead of just the 5 things.
And the good thing is, since we raised the threshold, a lot of our printing that we need, we just go out and get quotes, because it's under $50,000. So in this case, this is big bucks. We're talking, probably $400,000 for this project, for the year to handle the annual services for printing.
I had a question.
We can do it either way. I'm sorry. We can do it either way. It's just, reason why we're bringing it forward is we want to make sure everybody gets along, so you all make a decision on how you want us to proceed. We can either do 1 bid, or we can do 3 different bids for printing.
But you mentioned the clerk of court. What does she do now for her mailings? Anybody know?
Yeah, they handle it manually in their.
They don't have a contract.
She prints in the office.
She prints in the office. I wonder how many pieces of mail that.
400 to 500 every other week.
Every other. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but regardless, we're going to have to work together, because each office has their own templates.
May I explain the ramifications of what you're discussing?
Could you talk into
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
mic so people hear it, please?
I fully support an efficient use of our time. No one more than me, especially standing here in this meeting. I fully support getting the biggest bang for our buck. Our taxpayers we're here because the auditor brought up something and then didn't show up today. Our taxpayers are relying on the success of these communications. We, as a team, are relying on these communications and this data to function so we can collect, so Pinky can report to you an over 100% tax revenue budget. We cannot compromise the needs in that RFP to accommodate the needs of another department. We are 100% willing. We are the volume. We're mailing over 500 to 600,000 pieces of mail every year. We are getting back over 600 to 700,000 files every year to populate our website. We are using the data from the vendor in our investments and our cash flows within the past 12 months has yielded over $30 million in investment returns. I am not, it is not wise to jeopardize those services which are stipulated in that RFP so that another department can get what they need when the goal that is being communicated is cost effectiveness. We are the bulk mailer. Any department will benefit from that pricing. Our focus is the data services. Our current vendor, this is a costly contract, but it is not because of the mailing. It is because of the postage and the data services, not the mailing. That is not our focus, but it keeps being brought up that the other departments keep mailing things. Our taxpayers are relying on this. I cannot express to you the gravity of these services. You will jeopardize. It will jeopardize potentially the efforts of these people behind me and the revenues you're relying on. I cannot reduce the needs of our office and what you need me to be doing for another team that needs mailing services.
All right, let me just kind of summarize then where we are. I'm not sure what action, if we need to take one, but not everyone has spoken here, but let me speak, and then if someone else needs to speak, I think just feeling what everyone is here at the council level is saying that there's no reason why you couldn't have your own RFP, and if we need to get a second one, we then can negotiate
you.
a second one.
I appreciate
Is
that.
there anyone that would like to speak regarding that? Again, we want to move on here and not spend a whole bunch of time on this, so.
I don't know if Mr. Passman wants to speak, he's online.
Yep, Joe, go ahead.
Yes, if you go on our website, under the county council portion, it specifically says we're an elected body and we're responsible for certain things. Passing ordinances, setting county policies, and developing a budget. Doesn't say anything about what's going on right now. That's under the policies that we've already created. As I understand what's going on, we have a department, our treasurer's department, has prepared an RFP for the services that are specific to their department. But it will affect other members of departments.
Should they wish
That
to use
she
it.
is willing to have, work with her office to get the benefit of that. I think that's a fair summary of that. As I understand, she has followed our protocols, our policies of procurement. Why are we wasting time with this now? This is between elected officials that we don't control. It's a budgetary item that she has. I suggest we move on.
Very well spoken, Joe. Anyone else like to add to that? So obviously, again, this was a discussion, and Mr. Passman said it very clearly. Anyone else, before we move on, anyone else would like to speak? Okay, let's move on then. We've got our first agenda item, number 8A, and this is approval of a resolution repealing Resolution 2024/20 and replacing the resolution with 2025/ we haven't done that yet, committing funds to Technical College of Low Country and Beaufort Memorial Hospital for capital projects. Ms. Pinky Harriet, our Chief Financial Officer, is back up with us again.
Yes.
Pinky, go ahead.
We need a motion and
Need a
second.
motion. I'll
So
make the
moved,
motion.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. All right, open for discussion. Ms. Harriet.
Yes, so if you recall, back during fiscal year 2025 budget planning process, there was a proposed funding from the 2025 Series GEO bonds to make contributions to BMH as well as TCL. Back then, you passed a resolution 2024-20 to fund the portion that you were going to fund TCL's workforce, regional workforce center, training center, anyway, yeah. For over a course of 3 years, $1.5 million, and then $6 million from your 2025 bond. So after having discussions with both entities, BMH and TCL, it was uncovered that during that process with the previous CFO, they had discussed this being county's contribution, and no debt service was going to be associated with this contribution. So after I got here and we were setting up MOUs, that's when this arose. Neither agency was willing to sign up for debt service because obviously they'd have to book that liability and that would impact their books as well. After regrouping and talking with bond counsel, it is our recommendation, since we most recently pulled, I requested $15 million out of fund balance from the general fund to fund your CIP fund, if we could take the contributions, both TCL and BMH has reduced their request. BMH has gone down to $8 million, TCL has gone down to $7 million. So I'm requesting that we approve a resolution to take the $15 million from the CIP fund and appropriate it to BMH and TCL for those amounts, BMH $8 million, TCL $7 million, and then we take the $15 million worth of projects from the CIP fund and put them towards our bonds. That way we can manage our projects and use our own debt service for our countywide projects. The bond ordinance is written vaguely enough to where you do not have to amend your bond ordinance, and bond counsel also agrees with that being a better way to fund both agencies that you have previously committed to fund. Both agencies are here today. If you have any questions about their projects, feel free.
All right, open for discussion. Anyone like to?
Sorry, one more piece.
Yes, ma'am.
Back in 2025, whenever this was being discussed in front of Finance Committee and Council, each agency received a slight millage increase. BMH received 0.2 additional mills and TCL received 0.1 additional mills. What we're going to do is we're going to pull that millage back, so we will subsequently have to do a budget amendment because we have to amend the budget ordinance. That will get reappropriated to the debt service fund since the county will resume its debt, not farm it out to TCL or BMH. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Any questions from anybody?
Any questions for our agencies? They're here.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Is the math not
I've
mathing?
already spoken about this previously, so I have nothing to add other than we really need to be cognizant of the funding that we give to other agencies. You know, I've said it 100 times, my goal is to reduce millage next year, and so we need to be cognizant of how we're spending money. I'm just putting that on the table one more time.
Can I say something, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead, Alice.
This, thank goodness Miss Harriet was here to look at this when we had the MOU and along with our administrator to make this and straighten it out for two very important entities in our community that will get these things done, but we won't do it this way again, is the bottom line. I think we're doing it the right way now. Thank you.
Right, and I agree.
Go ahead,
This is
Leslie.
something has at the time, I think Ms. Christmas was our CFO at that time, and it was adding the mill, and then it was set up as a loan. So we're going to claw back the millage when it comes to the millage that we approved in the new resolution, and then it will not be a loan; it will be a gift
County's
amount.
contribution.
Yes,
Correct.
Right, Lovey, you want to say
It's a
something?
fancy way to put it.
Yeah, right.
I guess my confusion is just, I remember when we originally discussed this, I'm racking my brain. That was presented to us, it was a loan that we were supposed to receive back after putting the money forward. So I guess maybe make me feel better and clear my head up where my confusion is.
Well,
That's a tough thing to do, I apologize.
I know. That's very tough. No. Both agencies were not of the understanding, and they were here during that timeframe. I was not. From what I understand from talking with both of them, they thought that when they were presenting to you, they were asking for the funds as a one-time contribution. I can understand where when I show up with an MOU to do their debt service, they're like, whoa, I gotta book this on my balance sheet. They were not prepared to assume debt over it and pay the debt service back. And I think that's what really was confusing to them, because they thought the county was just making a one-time contribution.
So when we voted on that though, how was it written for us when we voted? Was it voted as a loan?
It was voted as a contribution from your 2025 bonds, which is associated with debt service.
So basically that vote is completely worthless then.
Right, so?
Well, it was interpreted differently.
It was. I think the understanding between the agencies and what you guys were voting on were two different things.
Correct, but that puts us on the hold for still what we voted for.
Right. You are. We're going to fund those projects, our county projects, that's where our debt service is going to go, and we're going to maintain that on our books.
So do we need to bring that original vote back and amend it?
You've already done that by rescinding and going this route at a previous council meeting. You rescinded that vote and changed course and granted them this as a grant, if you will, as opposed to.
That's why your resolution is repealing the original one.
And that's what this resolution will be
That's
for.
what it was, correct.
But it wasn't a worthless vote, it's just been revised.
Adjusted.
We have to pass the resolution.
We don't have to do anything.
That's why it's on the
I mean, that's the
yes.
discussion, but I'm just saying, like, and I understand being creative to figure it out, that I love, I'm all for, for better lack of term, playing the game to make it work, I get that. Everybody does that in business, I guarantee you, they do it in their office, you have to do it. So I do appreciate that, and you figuring it out before it even came to us to make it clean. I guess those are all my comments.
To
All
be-
this is doing is forwarding the resolution to council for action. You're just making a recommendation up or down.
Yeah.
To be clear, it wouldn't be appropriate for us to grant out of bond funds. It would not look good on your accounting books, and I just don't have ease doing that. So I think the better option is, I already asked you for $15 million from your general fund balance. I can reallocate that $15 million and take the $15 million of projects and put them to our bonds. And, I mean, those are assets that we will maintain, that projects that we can see occur. I mean, they're going to be on different timelines. One's a state agency, and they've got different things going on. So if you're going to give it as a one-time contribution, this is probably the cleaner way to do it.
Mr. Chairman, you said this has to go to council still?
Yeah, this is, it goes to council for a resolution. And again, we are actually not, we're not repealing the old resolution, we're actually amending it to read what we just talked about, so.
Can we just request that that's in the backup data for the county council meeting so we can see how it was originally written?
Right. You want the old resolution in as well as the new? Okay, yes, we can do that.
You can do that, then they can also give you the date and time of the.
That'd be great, so we can go back in.
Because
That'd be good.
Could you
I mean,
remind the public how much is in our fund balance, so they're rest assured we're not emptying it?
Oh, no. This is 15 million we already pulled from fund balance for CIP.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're not pulling
We have
any
plenty
more
in
out.
fund
Right.
balance.
We are required to maintain at least 30% in our fund balance.
So according to the presentation, we're contributing the 15 million, and then we're rescinding the millage that we gave them earlier,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Yes.
So we're pulling back the millage that was supposed to be for their debt service.
That's good.
And then I'll service the debt in-house.
These are two vital organizations to our county and to the citizens of this county, so we need to support them. I'm in favor of giving them the contribution, but I don't see us double dipping, so being that we're
Correct.
pulling the millage back, I'm good.
All right, any other comments? Joe, you have anything online? I'll make sure I see you.
Because we're going to change the millage, will that be done in time before the bills go out? So that when the bills go out, all of this is reflected correctly?
Probably not. For the remainder of this fiscal year, because we've already started the fiscal year, the collections are currently going and sitting in each agency's fund. We're just
Okay.
keeping it back. So for all of 2025, once we issued bonds, we had a large payment due on March 1st. We used that balance from all the millage. They never saw that millage. That stayed on our books. And then when we do the 27 budget ordinance, it will be reduced by that millage amount. But the millage stays on our books,
Okay.
And I guess.
and we're servicing the debt with it.
I think it'd be too much to ask you for today, but what amount that would be with that estimated millage that we're going to collect to offset?
Correct. Yes, I can give you, I'll present it at the next finance committee, if
Okay.
that's good with you, what we collected for 25 and what we anticipate to collect for
I think it'd
26.
be whenever this goes to council for the
Oh, sure.
resolution.
Yeah,
to be
okay.
Approved in the backup documentation for that.
Sure.
All right, so we have a first and a second. Any more discussion? Looking around, we're going to approve this without objection. If we need to do a roll call, we can. Any objection from anybody?
We're just, the motion is to send it to
To
council.
council for, with the change that we're talking about.
Correct.
With the recognition of the.
Yes. All right, so again, it's being approved without objection. All right, thank you, Ms. Harret, for taking something very complicated and making it simple for us to understand.
No worries. Thank you.
All right, let's move on then to agenda item A8B, and this is approval of request from Beaufort County Emergency Services to purchase 12 LifePak 35 cardiac monitors and associated accessories for $568,599.71. And the fiscal impact is for $568,823. Has been budgeted for these items from the account with an available balance of $1,650,661.57.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, and is there a second, please?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Any discussion? Do we have Mr. Robinson come forward for this? All right, we'll approve this without objection. Any objection from anybody?
No.
Seeing no objection, let's move on then to agenda item 8C. I'll try to read better this time. Approval to purchase one boom mower for the Stormwater Management Department. Fiscal impact, stormwater infrastructure account purchase price is $226,772.70. Available balance is $769,997. And have a motion, please.
I'll make the motion, Mr.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll approve this without objection. And seeing no objection, that also has been approved. And then let's go on to our last item on our agenda, 8D, approval of a resolution to update the Beaufort County FOIA policy. Fiscal impact, there's no fiscal impact. And again, I know we worked on this before. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Second, Mr. Dawson. And Hannah, if you'd like to come forward, since we did do this in previous, but again, just to let us know what we've got going on here.
Absolutely. We did just do this in April, but it was so nice you wanted to do it twice. Erroneously, you guys got a draft version of the policy when it came forward in April, and the only thing that got voted in was the $26 fee. So when we noticed that, we took all the fees down on the website, have only been charging that $26, and then we have updated the policy for real this time for you
Total
to consider.
$26?
$26 per hour
Okay.
is what was
Still.
included.
All right, good. Logan?
I was saying call it, Mr.
Call it.
Chairman.
Any more discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll approve this without objection. Any objection? Can't see Joe? I can see Joe. No objection, so we will approve this without objection. And so we approved it before. This goes back to county council for a final reading then to
Yes, sir.
actually officially approve it. Okay? All right, good. Is there anything else to come before this committee? Seeing nothing, we are adjourned. Thank you.